All right, guys, what is up? It's Jared from Vancini Conversions. Today, we're going to take you on a tour a bit different. You do not live in this van. This is a commercial build. A lot of you guys don't know, we do a lot of commercial builds for various businesses, companies, municipalities. This one is a supportive outreach vehicle services. Like you can see on the side, basic needs, drug testing, checking, social navigation, mental health support, addiction support, all that stuff. So this is pretty cool for a local municipality and county. And yeah, they're coming to pick it up tomorrow, and I want to give you a rundown on what we've put together, and hopefully we hit the nail on the head with all their wants and needs. So we'll start with the outside. It is absolutely freezing. It's about -20. Outside's pretty basic, other than it's not. There's an amazing wrap, commercial wrap done by Branded Wraps on here. You got the Flatline Van Company side steps for getting in and out of the vehicle. You got the Fiamma F45S awning mounted onto a Flatline Van Company roof rack. And then we have custom-made solar panels up there. So it's pushing, I think, a little over 600 watts of solar with an air conditioning and a max air fan. Everything else is a factory. This is on a 2024 3500 all-wheel drive dually. Let's get inside. I'm freezing. All right, we hop on up in here. Trusty roll-off screen. You know, the bug screen, the blackout screen. You guys have seen this pretty much standard on every build that rolls out our door. And yeah, no flip-up table here, just a few areas we'll talk about, so come on in. All right, when you step on in this van, we kept a couple things in mind. It is a commercial build in the medical field, so you want to make sure some of the materials, most of the materials they're using are kind of easy to clean, non-porous, things of that nature. So lawn seal floor, great for that. A bit grippy if people are going to be walking in here in all climates, snowy boots. So the lawn seal flooring. We got the, when it comes to cabinetry, laminated cabinets with the Corian countertops. All of the walls you see in here are an FRP paneling, kind of this beige look to them. So FRP, you can spray that down with any cleaning supplies, wipes, water, to fiberglass reinforced panels, what it is. Same, just two-tone cabinetry, same laminated panels. We went with the clear cedar ceiling on the roof, the nice clear cedar. With the 2 rows of pot lights, various trims and accent pieces here, black trims all around. And then spots on some of the door panels and stuff are the Marathon tweed upholstery. Yeah, that's about it for materials used in this build. We'll start with the front area here, which Maddi is currently sitting in the passenger seat, which is swiveled. The driver's seat does swivel a lot. This is going to kind of be, I guess, their consultation, their meeting room, their onboarding room, separate from kind of their medical room over here. So they do have this blackout separation curtain that totally would slide across here and separate that out. Couple things, some of the materials, this is almost like a tarp-like material of vinyl, so easy to clean down. Again, with cloths, you don't want this being a material that stains and is not easy to clean. All right, making this whole area and setup was tight, but we made it work. The 2 seats we're sitting in here right now are van-equipped seats. This seat and system is one of the only seats in Canada that are actually Transport Canada certified. So when we do this installation, there's documentation involved, and we actually get the door sticker stamp of approval from Transport Canada, which is on this vehicle here. So pretty cool. Now, obviously, it is not road legal to drive facing the sliding door. Both of these seats do swivel. Obviously, side by side, there's not a lot of room. Right down here is L-track in the floor. And keep in mind, probably 70% of the time, this is how the business will use them. But if they want to go to an event or they have a meeting and they want to bring 4 of their employees, you have the 2 seats in the front. You can move this seat, quickly disconnect it down there with the knobs, connect it into this section of L-track in the floor, swivel them both forward, and you have 4 road legal, safe seating options for transportation. So that's a pretty cool idea. And then we made the little floor insert there, so it's not a tripping hazard. And same with the pedestal table. You guys, well, maybe you don't, but these are easily removable, and you can just stow it away in the overhead shelf above to open the space up a lot. You've seen this before here. This is a broad arrow window with the built-in bug screen and blind. You might notice, why didn't they do perforated on this? They actually don't want perforated at all. They wanted the full blackout vinyl for people not being able to see in, but they still have a window to open up for ventilation. You'll notice the same with this window. Primarily, this window cover will just be up on here. You cannot see out this window because there's a vehicle wrap on the outside. And yeah, they have the Van Essential blackout covers there and the full Reflectix cover for up front as well. Which, last thing I will note, trust the overhead shelf here, which is where they're going to store pedestal table, other gear, and the window covers. Alrighty, welcome to the back of the van. This took a lot to make work. Obviously, the big thing here you see is this medical bed that's 73 inches long. It has an adjusting back, and it raises up and down. There's a foot pedal for it to raise up and down. That's down. And this thing can raise significantly high. The reason this is a bit tricky is this is a dually vehicle to hold the weight of this build, but which kind of had this seat push out a bit more than we'd like. So we did everything in our power to make this system function. And it's not bad. You still have 19, 20 inches of aisle space. And the good thing actually is you'll see over here, this is an L-track section, which we kind of learned midway through the build. They have a bunch of kind of longer items and bags and backpacks to store. So when they're driving on the road, we got this L-track here with adjustable hooks, which there's now this gap beside the bed, which is nice. And that's where all those objects will hang, and it kind of tucks them in place as they drive. They have an outlet down there. And a lot of that space down here in this whole section is a lot of the plumbing tank. And there's still, we made sure to leave access to it and all that. Because when you see a build like this, there's 2 seats, there's a 73-inch medical bed, there's a full-size bathroom in the back. You still need a spot for a plumbing system. There's a full hydronic system in here and a very big electrical system. And we hit all that stuff pretty well. Back onto this side here, got the overhead central of the van. You got the pneumatic AC. We went with the X3 big van, big AC. So this is the 12-volt version. And then going over here, you have a pretty simple when it comes to switching setup. So you have 2 lighting zones. You got the ceiling lights and you got the under cabinet lights, which are both on their separate individual zones there. This switch right here is for the Starlink. They do have a Starlink Mini on the roof. You got the Victron screen there, letting you know everything that's going on. We're getting 30 watts. We're pulling 120 watts because the diesel heater's on. So they do have a Rixson system. They do actually have the hydronic system, the MCS7 by Rixson's, which has the built-in electric heating element, the Eberspacher 5 kilowatt diesel heater, hydronic heater, and they also have the hot water. They did not go with radiant heated floors, but they do have hot water, which is nice. All right, plenty of counter space over here. I will start with a lot of the drawer storage. They went with the stainless steel slam latches, and you really gotta give these a bit of a slam to latch them in place, which is nice. You do have plenty of storage here. The slam latch actually has a built-in lock. They did need a certain section, storage section that is lockable, so you can lock that latch there. And when I said about the electrical system, it does take up a lot of room, and we tried to leave as much storage as possible. So under here, there still is storage, but that is your 2 batteries are in that cabinet, and then over here is all your electrical. So you'll notice that built-in fan on the face, kind of all your switching, your breakers, your fuses are in there. Hopefully Maddie's inserting some B-roll here. Plenty of space for it to breathe. Like I said, you have the temperature controlled fan on the front of that face, and you do have the temperature controlled fan on the water tank as well. And we think of a lot of things, making sure every one of these drawers can open. Clearly, this one can't open all the way, but you don't need it to. These are your batteries here. And if you wanted to take this door off, it takes 2 seconds with the quick disconnect latches there. So over here, you've got their working monitor on its own swivel. So you can actually pull this out wherever you need be, face the client, face the front. And yeah, so you could sit here. Obviously, this backrest can lay down. I will show you that. And when you're done with the monitor, like I said, stow it away, and it latches in place, so it's not going to fly around there as you're driving. Plenty of overhead storage, as always, with the slam latches. And then up in the corner here, there is, not sure if you can see, B-roll. You got the Caframo, the Sirocco 2 fan. Again, can kind of blow on the patient there. It helps circulate a lot of the air, a lot of the heat. Yeah, pretty handy thing to have for hot summer days. This air conditioning, you want all the ventilation you can get. You got the Caframo fan here, and you have a Max Air fan in the back, which we'll take you to next. All right, when you step to the back section here, there's the remote that hangs on the back of this chair. Like I said, the back can be adjusted, so you can have a patient sit upright, and then it gives you a bit more room you can move behind them. Like you have to access anything back there. You can lift it up, down as well. There's a foot pedal for it too. So that's a pretty cool thing there. hook that right on. Right on this side is just some more handy vertical storage there for whatever their heart's desire. Didn't want to waste the space, so we gave them some storage there. You'll notice down below is one of the two heating vents for the Rixson system. So there is one vent there, and then there's a section of line that goes all the way to the front of the van, right beside the seats up front. We tried to think of winter months, if that's closed off, you still want the front section getting nice and warm. In this section of the van, employees on their lunch, need to heat up their food. You got a microwave, you got a little fridge here with even a little freezer and a little ice tray. This fridge is the Vitrifrigo C60, I believe. So a 60-liter little fridge there. You have a section of pull-out drawers here. Got some pretty deep storage here. Same with the bottom one as well. And just a couple little cool aesthetic features. This is the pull-out drawer here. Obviously, it's not as deep as the drawer face looks. That's because the wheel well is right there. So we still gave them all this space. And then we have all their shore power hookups, water fills stored there. Moving to the back of the van, we made it all work. We had everything fit. This is the bathroom area. It's a full bathroom. You got a mirror, you got a sink, you got a toilet, got some overhead storage here. Right above, you have the Max Air fan, which is purposely put right in between the two sections there. It'll still work if the door is closed. This is actually a two-purpose door. You've probably seen these a lot for showers. We like using these for partition separation walls. Super lightweight and nice. Again, easy to clean down. In this section of the van here, it is bolted in with the quick disconnects on the side when you have to empty it. This is the dry flush toilet, the Laveo toilet. Easy cleanup. These people did not want to deal with composting toilets, black water tanks, which I do not blame them. So when someone's going to use the washroom, they're going to close the door. They're going to lift the lid. They're going to sit down, not have anything in their pockets. Obviously, their pants will be pulled down. And you do your business. Press the button. Vacuum seals it. All that fun stuff. Look it up. I think it's dryflush.ca or Laveo. Just look up Laveo toilet and you'll find information on it. Really cool. Slightly pricey when it comes to per flush basis, but you're paying for the convenience. Back here is actually one of the nicest little vanities I think we've done in a van. I love how it turned out. We have this nice custom sized mirror framed in with a nice cedar to match the ceiling. You have a nice farm style sink here. The reason we went with this is we needed all the space under here. That's where a lot of the hydronic system is stowed. So when you open this up, you have kind of all the mixing valves, the holding tank, water filtration system. So all the water in here is filtered. And then you also have their little gray water tank, like I said, which just stays there and they can empty it out as need be. Make sure to keep it on it. Their only source of water in here is the sink, but they at least wanted it handy enough to have hot water, especially in the winter if clients are washing their hands. You have a little light here for the bathroom, has its own light, and then the water pump switch is here as well. Coming on to the back doors, we kept a lot of the factory plastic trim. You just got the Van Essential window covers there for the insulative portion. Little pockets there, which are actually quite nice and at a perfect height for the people using the bathroom. They got the upholstered panels, the upholstered part of the ceiling here, and yeah. That's it. That's the commercial build. All right, I'm going to leave this to the end. We showed all the inside, all the features. We'll talk about, like I said, their water and heating system we mentioned, the Rixson's MCS7. Their electrical system, as you can tell, it's the exact same systems we use in our full kind of high-end conversions when it comes on to the electrical side. So you have 920 amp hours of heated lithium batteries, all Victron components. It has the 50 amp Orion DC to DC charger, 3000 watt multi plus. It has the Servo GX with a Touch 70, temperature sensors integrated, the power in, all properly fused with Blue Sea, Victron, Ancor wiring, the marine grade standard, and a commercial build. Yeah, very exciting. We don't show a lot of these builds off. Like, we've actually done quite a few and haven't filmed a tour, and we thought, you know what, you guys might find this interesting. And for any of you who have businesses out there, you know who to reach out to. Any ideas you might have. We've done mobile veterinarian clinics, barber shops, ultrasound clinics, outreach vehicles like this, mobile support vehicles. So yeah, VanciniConversions.com. And I'm going for a nap. If you've watched this far, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.